No recording.
Shit, okay.
What?
I had a last moment of hesitation on what I wanted to do for the cold open because I can't think of anything funny. I can't think of any good funny wacky bits. I'm just gonna talk about how much Dick Masterson content I've been consuming these past 3 weeks, and that's gonna be the cold open. And nobody's gonna care but you and me. But I don't care. Okay? This is
Oh
Rogue.
God! Like how? I guess how far in the back catalog were you?
So here's the situation, right? So when it comes to how I had listened to the biggest problem in the Dick Show before, the original biggest problem in the Dick Show, when I was in high school, I discovered the Dick Show and Biggest Problem in the Universe through Boomer versus Zoomer, Monkey Jones's podcast with Asterios. And I listened to all of Biggest Problem in high school, just when I was on lunch or when I was doing classwork or whatever. I was listening to Biggest Problem, and that's how I got through that whole show. And that was the original edit. That was not the uncut version. And I started the Dick Show after that, but I think made it 80 something episodes in, or 70 something, and then at that point I slowly trickled them throughout my adulthood. And there were also points where I was listening weekly to the current episodes. So I would say roughly there's probably out of the 366 episodes of the Dick Show that exist, I've probably listened to 180 of them. Random estimate, probably something around there. And I've been increasing that number greatly, and I caught up on Biggest Problem because I fell behind the current Biggest Problem. I caught up on that. I was way behind, and I subscribed to that Patreon, so now I got bonus episodes. And I've just been listening to a lot, and on top of that I've also been listening to Biggest Problem Uncucked, re-listening to the old episodes because I introduced my friend Alex to Biggest Problem, and she's been listening to Biggest Problem Uncucked, and she's gonna start the Dick Show once she's done. She's almost done. And so yeah, I've just a whole lot of Dick Masterson these past few weeks, and also
You've been taking
Alex.
a whole lot of dick these last few
I've been
weeks.
taking a
In other way,
whole lot of Dick.
just a
Yeah.
ton of dick, like all day, every day. Just dick, 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 dick,
Dick, dick,
dick
dick,
with
dick,
you.
dick, dick, dick. That's right.
God
And
damn.
also Alex, who I showed Biggest Problem, she bought me a 3 month late birthday gift, as she called it. And I now am the owner of a copy of Men Are Better Than Women, Dick Masterson's book.
Oh shit.
Alex
Nice,
got me
nice.
that.
Have you started reading?
I did start reading it. It's been pretty good so far.
Nice, nice, nice.
God, he wrote this fucking 15 years ago, right? Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't quite remember though.
So it's weird that they've all written books. It seems like all the cool people have written books. Monkey Jones has written a book. I think Asterios has written a silly little comedy book.
I think he's written a few books actually. Like he's got Enemies of I think it's
Enemies of
like
20 something Mega Man, but that's a fun picture book. I don't think Asterios has written a proper
well, no,
book.
a book's a
Book.
book though. A
No,
book's a
no,
book, I think.
I'm not discrediting that he's made that kind of book. I'm just saying Dick Masterson and Maddox have both written books. You flip through the pages, it's just words, it's not funny little pictures.
Well, not
And
Alphabet of Manliness, I think would be in the same vein as Asterios is, but I'd still consider that a real book too.
that's fair. Do you own any of these books?
No, I don't. The only one I only own one book from a
And it
quote
was
unquote
Alphabet of
internet.
Manliness?
No,
Okay.
no, even when I liked Maddox, I was like, I don't know if I really want to get the Alphabet of Manliness. It kind of sounds kind of goofy and corny, but whatever. No,
I
the
read
only book
half of it in high school after I discovered Biggest Problem. It was kind of funny, but didn't
well,
really
like,
keep me engaged.
well, honestly, like, because I've been like a huge fan of Maddox's since like 2002, 2003.
Oh,
Like
you're an old best page in the universe
yeah,
visitor.
yeah, yeah, like the
Okay.
best page in the universe. Like, actually, like maybe like most of a year during its first year when that page launched. That was like how long I've been following Maddox, right?
Well, the
And
page
so,
launched in 1998, I think.
oh, okay, probably like maybe 2001, 2002, something like that. Maybe a
Okay.
little bit 2002, 2003, if I'm being honest. All right, so maybe like a few years removed from the very, very beginning, but like I remember his page from the old school days, old Internet 1.0, Web 1.0 days. And I remember that. And kind of after you consume that for a while and you sort of see, I guess the big problem is a lot of the stuff from his old days, like even from his interviews on G4, well, at that time, Tech TV and then G4 Tech TV, like on Attack of the Show and all that. A lot of his stuff was sort of in the book like that he had, so it's kind of like recycled content that I've already experienced before, so that's why like I didn't enjoy it that much, but I still thought it was okay.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
yeah, but like I was about to say before I forget, the only book I have from an internet personality, quote unquote internet personality, is I got Dr. Disrespect's book, man.
Oh shit! What did he? Is it just like a memoir? What is it?
Oh, it's like a memoir, freaking just a real badass book, man. It's fucking pretty good.
The book I want to get, a book I heard about on, I think it was a Biggest Problem bonus episode, a new Biggest Problem bonus episode, was, I guess Norm Macdonald wrote like a biography, but the joke is that it was obviously bullshit.
Oh,
It
that's
was
fucking
called
funny.
Based on a True Story, I think is the name of the book. I want to check that one out.
Nice, nice, nice. I'll have to check that out.
I want to get into reading more. I feel like a lot of people I know have kind of gone through these arcs where they're like, wait a minute, books. And they
Well,
all
yeah, because, and I don't mean to sound offensive here, but a lot of your generation and like well, I guess your generation, because you and Demigloom are super super close to the same age. Like a lot of the millennials and a lot of the Zoomers literally say, and I'm not paraphrasing here, these are not my words, this is your generation's words. Reading is for F slurs. Ew, a book? Gross. Get out of here, old man. And they say naughty things about reading. Like I don't know what it is about reading. Like it's like anti-intellectualism, but with like a certain political bent is because has become all the rage now. And but they're still saying using the same vernacular as anyone else from the past. In regards to like because I kind of view being anti-reading as like anti-intellectual, and if you're anti-reading, I also kind of think you're probably stupid. So yeah,
fair.
because like, well, like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't like to read. Oh, well, good luck. You're going to have such a great life not being able to read a fucking stop sign, idiot. Because, like, not liking to read probably means you're bad at reading, and being bad at reading deliberately is probably like a big factor in like adult illiteracy. Because like people think that reading is uncool and lame, and for that word I said that they said a few minutes ago.
Oh my
So it's
god, I can
it's
hear
kind of
it.
a bummer.
I'm sorry, I've broken my brain. I'm having a mental breakdown.
Why are you having a mental breakdown?
So here's the situation. Let me go behind the curtain. This is a Moecast behind the baseball. So
Oh,
when I edit the Moecast, editing a podcast, like when I edit my podcast, does not take me long because it's a lot of like general cleanup. I don't really care about editing for content. I just do all the things that make the audio clean and get rid of all the silence, and it does not take long. But the fact that I work on the Moecast for money gives me this active desire to put something more into it. So what I've been doing is I will actually listen through the whole track and like cut every noise that I find, and I've been really autistic about it, and it's become a problem. It probably makes the show sound better, but it's a little bit excessive. So the thing and I'm hearing it now in real time because I've been so used to it editing is when our breath is really aggressive and it comes through, I will try to like silence that. So now I'm hearing you talking, and I'm actively hearing your breaths in, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to silence that.
oh, sorry.
It's okay. We're all guilty of it.
I can't help it.
Yeah, and like some of them stay in inevitably, but just know if you've only heard minimal breaths, that is because of me. Because I am the audio wizard who sits there for 4 hours at 6 o'clock in the morning, silencing breaths in the Moecast. Honestly, editing podcasts when I wake up early in the morning is actually like this weirdly relaxing activity that kind of helps me start the day. So that's when the Moecast has become like a Zen tool that I sit there and I fucking pilgrimage through the audio and make it sound as perfect as possible for fucking 5 hours for the beginning of my mornings for a couple days.
God damn.
So yeah, that's the amount of effort I'm putting in, folks. So if it still sounds like shit, maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. But I have been trying.
Oh yeah. I used to be really self-conscious about that when I was like much, much fatter, like some years ago, right? Like
Yeah.
like when I was noticing it when I was first starting YouTube and doing PUBG clip shows, and you were like, all right, here we go now. And I can hear myself fucking breathing because I'm I got like neck fat, and I'm just
Yep.
like I got like fatty breaths, like I'm just sitting there going, and I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. Like I was embarrassed. Like, dude, I have some muted some unlisted videos, because of that, because I got so self conscious about it, and I really like Dark Side Phil stuff a lot. And one of the things that I really get scared of, because like I watch a lot of dark DSP hater videos as well, and they always catch him fucking snorting. And it's the most disgusting thing. And sometimes I'll catch myself snorting. I'm like, oh god, I'm DSP, I'm DSP. Oh god, oh god, oh god, I'm going to suck.
Oh
Everyone's going
no.
to make fun of me. Oh god. Give me
I
some
got
fucking money, I'll
imagine
put
if
on the
people were
vest.
making like most side gaming content, most side gaming hate content like they make Dark Side Phil hate content.
I'd
That
probably
would
be fucking famous by now if someone did.
I want like I'm gonna like pay I'm gonna commission Demigloom to do that.
Did you hate watch
to,
content?
to do like to hate watch stream highlights like Dark Side Phil of your streams. Just all of your snorting, all of your like weird political rants, like just all of the worst moments of most side gaming.
You might actually make me end up as popular, because I don't really regret any of my political rants. I think they're fine.
That's fair.
I'm not like ashamed of my personal politics. It's not like I'm a closet white nationalist or anything. So there's an odd amount of silence coming from you after I made that comment.
Yeah, we're gonna don't worry about it. Don't worry about that.
All right, let's go ahead and start the show, everyone. Goddamn. A one, a two, a skiddly diddly do. Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the Moecast. I'm your host, Mo Diggity. Joining me today, unfortunately, we only have the one co-host today because Robin's sort of out sick under, medical emergencies and stuff like that.
Robin went ass farming. Actually, I believe is the story.
Yes, yes. Her and Sean are both now going ass farming because that's all the rage with these kids. It's like
Yeah, it's
farming
it's
the
making a
ass.
resurgence.
Yeah,
The
but
ass
yeah,
farming's making a comeback.
yeah. But as you can tell, this is Riley. So say what's up, Riley. How you doing?
Hey, what's cracking, Moecast audience? What's going on?
All right, that's good. I was about to say not much, because I'm always used to people asking me that. I was like, oh, that's fucking stupid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just spent the last week just beating my head against the wall. That's
How
pretty
so?
much. Oh, just everything. Just like my brother slash roommate might be bailing out of my house, so I'm like thinking, oh god, am I
Oh
gonna
yeah, you
be?
were talking to me about that at some point.
Yes, it's sort of like, all right, I guess I'm paying like $12.50 a month, by myself, plus bills, plus food. You know, I mean, I'm going to have enough, but I'm not going to really have enough to buy a video game that I like
How much was your
anymore.
brother paying a month?
Oh, half of 12.50.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean,
That's some rent.
I still, yeah,
625.
I still got plenty of money, but it's not enough to have a life or anything. So once again, I'm kind of on my fuck America arc because of it.
I mean,
But yeah,
at least you have enough money to live. That's good, at the very
yeah,
least. With the bright
I
side.
know. I've just been quote unquote living for like quite a while now. It just really aggravates me. It seems like the only time I ever had money was during the COVID times when they were giving us boosted unemployment plus COVID benefits. I'm like, dude, why can't I live comfortably like that? Like, now, like it just seems kind of shitty, and it just like pisses me off. Like, I
Well,
don't want to
because the
start on a
idea is
down note.
that
Hold
you
on.
work for money, and that
Well,
you couldn't do that during COVID, but now you can.
yeah, I just don't want to work anymore. There's no like underlying politics or anything for it. Like, I just don't want to have a job anymore. Like, jobs are like just a fucking scam. Like, why am I working to fucking, just I don't know. I'm
I
so
didn't ask
sick
to
of,
be born. Why do I have to work to live?
yeah, well, like that's kind of how I feel right now. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Why do I have to have a fucking job? Riley, what do we have a job for?
I don't
It's
know. I fucking
it's
hate
not
working too.
it's not like we're getting anything like really, really cool. Like maybe I'm just depressed from earlier because like I did something stupid. I watched a video on YouTube that I actually thoroughly enjoyed. And then I got depressed immediately in
So
the middle
wow,
of it.
really stupid, huh?
Yeah, yeah, real fucking stupid. And so um yeah, I was just watching. It was this dude who was making an LED, like a flat LED light strip desk that's lava themed with cool found wood, like the old school stuff. Like after loggers get done logging, they get that like tree trunk. They get like the big slab of the tree trunk part, and they just like do wood carvings and stuff like that. Well, this dude like got like two of these big ass fucking hunks of wood, right? And he made it into this bomb ass lava themed, coated with epoxy and quote unquote lava rocks. And what lava rocks are? They're these clear rocks that you just put in there, and they shine the light, any color light that you put on there, like just in a really cute, like cool little way, right? And I was like, dude, that's cool. And here's $100 bit I burned up doing this. Like, oh god, that's like my grocery bill right there. Oh, excuse me. Oh, there's another $100 bit. And I was like, oh man, they're just cutting into his rest of his money. And then I realized I'll probably have like 500-600 bucks to live off of the month, and so me wanting something or me having to pay a bill and all that, I was like, I don't know. Like, I sort of just realized, like, dude, I'll never have any of these fucking tools, and I'll always be renting. I'll never have a house. I'll never have the American dream. And I just started getting really fucking depressed during the fucking video. And yeah, and it's
Ah,
like coated with epoxy and stuff. Like, dude, I was thinking to myself, oh man, fucking epoxy's expensive and stuff. And he was all going on, it's going to mix it with my mixing tool, but it leaves a lot more air bubbles. So if I just like, listen to like 2-3 minute songs and just stir it with it by hand, it'll be all right. And like, oh man, I wish I can mix epoxy in a fun way on YouTube videos for fun. Like epoxy is expensive. I can't afford epoxy. It's like everything I want to do is just too fucking expensive, man. And this was like before COVID, before two administrations sort of jacked up the price of living, the cost of living up on everyone. And we're told that this is progress. It's so good, and it makes me want to Fed post on Threads and on Twitter. But I resist the urge to do so because I don't feel like talking to Secret Service or anything like that because I will act a fool. And yeah, just like going, God damn. I just don't want to have a fucking job anymore. And
yeah.
I've been thinking a lot more about let me get my mic a little bit closer to me here. All right, there we go. I've been thinking a lot more about automation and stuff like that, and what we have in place to protect the workers and people who are going to lose their jobs, and looking at these, sort of these three industries right now, these job qualifications, right?
Yeah.
You can really, really tell that there's absolutely going to be nothing in place, and we're going to be all fighting tooth and nail, killing each other for menial fucking jobs that will get outsourced. The first one's professional writers. Like, there's a writer strike going on right now,
Yeah.
and the studios are going to hire some scab writers to do punch ups and stuff, and they're working on better chat GPT esque AI to feed them scripts and then to generate a script for them. So they're going to be using AI to do the job of like a bunch of asshole writers. These are the kind that are like the ones mocking you, the fan online. So even
Yeah.
though I really do feel bad for writers, it's kind of like how Vito on The Biggest Problem said, like, yeah, I do believe writers should be treated a lot better and have better pay, but not y'all. Fuck you. And that's kind of like the where like where I stand on that too. Like, he took the words right out of my mouth. That is how I feel, because I feel nothing for these fucking bastards. Uh, it's just I don't have time to go into the politics of it all, like my personal politics versus those motherfuckers. But they are using AI to replace them, so the strike might go on indefinitely, or it might end with all of them just completely out of a job. They might work them till the end of their contracts, but after that, they might not have an actual fucking job, right? And it's really funny because a lot of these shows, like Seth MacFarlane, the guy who wrote American Dad and Family Guy and Cleveland Show and all that stuff, he said
The
that those,
Orville.
yeah, and the Orville too. Oh, I love the fucking Orville. It's such a great
I've
show.
only seen a few episodes, but I like what I've seen. I probably should watch the Orville soon.
Oh, we should do like an Orville season review on one of your shows one
Oh,
day.
if you'll rewatch Orville season 1, I'll go watch it and we can
Yeah,
do
but
a review.
let's do it like a month from now, because I'm not like, because I gotta give
Yeah,
up.
I have to watch a whole season of TV. I know it's gonna be a while. Yeah, a month is fine.
Oh, all right, good, good, good. All right, blah blah blah. But anyway, yeah, they're about to lose their fucking jobs. The other ones who are losing their jobs are coders. And coders, the same people who are telling miners and manual laborers to just learn how to code, and we're being super, super smug about it. Well, they're the ones losing their jobs now because of AI as well. And the third one, programmers and another kind of, well, I guess the third one, maybe like it's just two, sort of like tech and the writer people, the writers in entertainment. They're all losing their jobs, and they're the ones who told truckers and miners, manual laborers and stuff to just learn to code, and we're being real smug about it. And I've noticed that none of these truckers and everything, they haven't lost their jobs to automation yet. Fast food workers are slowly but surely losing their jobs, but ultimately, we are seeing the beginning of the end of the American worker, I think. And the jobs, there's not going to be, like in about like 10, maybe 15 years, there's not going to be anywhere near the jobs that we have now. There's not going to be enough jobs to go around. Like, the Biden administration right now is touting out the fact that unemployment's the lowest that it's ever been. And it was like, yeah, because most people who are like off the unemployment roll ran out of unemployment, and they count that in addition to workers who are on unemployment who got a job. So those numbers are sort of kind of artificially inflated in a sense, because
Mhm.
they ran out. That means they didn't get a job. They just simply ran out of unemployment. So that fucking sucks. And yeah, we just don't have we don't have enough jobs. We're not going to have enough jobs to go around soon. The second that they start figuring out how to automate work on the docks and stuff like that, and they automate the fishing industry, there goes those jobs too. Because did you know that there's a falsehood that people tout? It's the idea that there's an actual law that says that corporations have to maximize profit. And so far, there's no such law that actually exists on the book.
They
Uh,
legally
that
have
they
to
that they have
maximize
to,
profit.
yeah, like for instance, if they made enough money to hire 3 workers, they absolutely have to hire 3 workers, right? And they absolutely have to expand, absolutely this, absolutely that. And I was listening to some podcast some months ago, and they were talking about everyone's talking about the myth of corporations and companies have to maximize profits. Like, bitch, no, there's fucking not. There's no laws that actually say that. And I was listening to this guy saying that, and I was sort of looking at it on Google to
Maybe like the
research a little
laws of
bit.
life, the laws of what people are gonna do, the cosmic laws, but not the legal laws.
Yeah, and you know damn full well that like Exxon or Walmart doesn't give a fuck about anything but the absolute law. And if they can break it, they totally will. Just look at Nestle, for instance. Did you know that they fucking poisoned people? I think it was the 70s or the 80s. And I think it was South America. They were telling them that their Nestle formula was healthier for their babies than their mother's breast milk.
I've heard about this vaguely.
Yeah, yeah, it's a real fucked up thing
So they were
that
poisoning babies?
it was there was something wrong with the formula. No, wait. The poisoning of form I think that happened I just heard about this the other day. I wasn't really prepared to talk about it. But I think it was in Japan that actually happened that there were babies that were dying from tainted formula, and the formula company in Japan didn't tell anyone about it until they got their ducks lined up in a row. And it took them like weeks and weeks and weeks to fucking say anything, and a bunch of fucking babies died and shit. And as far as I've heard, no one's gotten arrested for it yet. But
Yeah.
yeah, and Coca-Cola and fucking Soda Pop, they apparently there was some shadiness with some of their factory. I mean, I don't remember quite what it was back then because I wasn't prepared to talk about that specifically. But yeah, man, I see the future and it's just ultra bleak. And I'm trying not to be bleak, but you know, everyone's telling me, "Oh, this country's doing so well now. Current administration, insert administration, like for like the last like 20, 30 something years. Bush, Obama, Trump, fucking Biden. All I've heard is oh, everything's so great. Everything's improving." I'm like, "Dude, I remember when uh and this is just like before COVID too. I remember when fucking ramen packets were like 10 to 15 cents or ramen packet, and I can walk out of there with the grocery store with like a whole like a little display box. You know the ones I'm talking about, the ones that the ramen packets come in,
Yeah, yeah,
those
yeah,
little
yeah.
cardboard thing. I used to walk out of there with after spending $2.53 with like a full packet of ramen. I just looked out like I bought some ramen the other day. It for 6 packets, it was like two something. I'm like, dude, they're taking our fucking desperation food away from us too. I really do think that the people in charge of both like politics and the economy, I really do think that they're trying to fucking kill us, man.
Oh my god.
No, like like because that's the only thing that would explain it. It's the only way. It's the only thing that would explain their laughter and smirking whenever you ask them about it. Like whenever they get interviews, like, what do you have to say about Americans? Blah blah blah, rising cost of food, blah blah blah, and they're like, not my problem. And so many in execu speak and politis speak, they'll say that it'll say, not my problem, and smirk about it because they fucking hate our guts, man. I really do think that they're just trying to kill us all. Like they're trying to engage in a mass killing and mass culling, but legally. because who's going to get them in trouble? Like, corporations don't go to jail, even though they're people, my friend, but corporations don't go to jail. They just get fined. And the penalty for the penalty for the crime is a fine, then that law was meant for the poor. But anyway, sorry I got off on a tangent.
It's okay. You were really going off.
Sort of my like old school leftist feelings have been resurging again. And I try not to think that my bitterness leads to my quote unquote liberalism, because I like to think that like my quote unquote liberalism is like a much better defining characteristic of my personality, wherein I can actually see a problem and try to break it down in my head in an adult manner. But it really does feel like a lot of times like that old school fucking feeling really does kind of come out when I'm angry about social issues that don't have anything to do with like civil liberties or like like my constitutional rights and stuff.
My constitution. It is important. I'm not. I'm only mocking you for fun. I agree
No,
with
no, no.
you.
There's the progressive side of me, and then there's the Texan side of me. So that's my two sides. In you, there are two
And you there
wolves.
too.
Oh God, I know. I was just jumping the gun ahead of you. I hate that fucking meme so much. It's like I hate it when fucking
I like the one where
Chads.
it's just inside of you there are two wolves. You are a gay furry.
I love that one. I love that one. I hate those Chads and the Chads and Stacys of the fucking world
Oh
when
God,
when they
it's the
when
Mo
they start.
corner.
I
Mo
don't think that's
spell.
it. I don't think that's incel speak really. I just it's like the talk of society. Like like people used to call them like the scum of the earth or the pigs of the world, but that's me referencing Charlie Manson, and Charlie Manson was a fucking psycho cult leader. But yeah, when those people they start trying to like quote what they consider deep pop culture cuts, like during the Game of Thrones time, they were talking about they were trying to quote Tywin Lannister. The lion doesn't care about the opinions of sheep. I'm like, dude, fuck off. You're no Lannister. You're a fucking small folk at best that gets fucking killed by the mountain while he's just casually warming up for a battle. That's what the fuck you are, bro. That just aggravates me.
Yeah, I understand.
You don't have anything. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
Listen, Mo. Okay, you're doing good on your own. I'm just trying to make it seem like I know what you're talking about, so you keep going. You keep giving us this good material. I'm trying to play it up, and you're really throwing me off here. You're really revealing my power level.
All right, sorry. I'm just fucking with you. Sorry.
I know.
Believe me, like it takes everything for me to just not spout out. That's it. Burn everything down. Anarchy, anarchy, anarchy. Spray paint, spray paint, spray paint. Because that's really what I want to do. But I'm not going to.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
trying to be
kind
a
of
good
I
boy.
kind of just like I'm kind of nihilistic now. Like I think that's just where my life has gone, where like I have no faith in the longevity of the world. I'm just going to kind of focus on myself because like I can't even bring myself to give a shit even a little bit about the world. I give a little bit of a shit about like other people and like their rights. Like I'm a big advocate for like transgender rights and just like equal rights for every human being is really the one issue I do care about.
Oh, you're really
But
working
like
on those upvotes on Reddit, huh?
I know, I
I'm
know,
just
I
fucking
know.
around. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, everyone. I'm kidding. That was just a joke. I like to
Like
make
the
little
like the
Reddit jabs. I'm
economy
just kidding.
the economy and stuff just like I'm watching the world burn and I can't bring myself to care about it at all. Like and just like all the other like the more deep political bullshit like beyond human rights, politics are almost like just nothing to me. Like I try to have opinions because then if I don't have opinions, people get mad at me. People get more mad at me for not having opinions than they do for me spouting fake bullshit opinions that I made up. So
No, I totally understand that. Like, I don't really care about the Ukraine situation at all. And up until like before the war started, everyone either one didn't have any opinions of the Ukraine, And those who did know what the Ukraine was knew exactly what it was. It was like a human trafficking, fucking money laundering, fucking center of that area. Like basically, it was just old school. It's a former Soviet Union state. That's what the Belarus and the Ukraine state countries are, right? They're old and just all the blah blah blah. But like I just don't really have too much of an opinion. Like, really, ultimately, I don't care. And people get really big boy angry spaghetti. What was it? Upsetty spaghetti. There we go. That's the word. Yeah, they get all upsetty fucking spaghetti over the fact that I'm not like either licking Ukraine, Zelensky's asshole, or just like completely pro Russia. And I don't care about either or, man. Like I was so enthusiastic for that coup that was supposed to go on. I was like, fuck yes, first world government overthrow. Let's fucking go. Haven't seen any of these.
Yeah.
Never seen one of these ever. Seen third world coups all the fucking time. Iraq, South America, all right, man. Now we're taking a shot at one of the big ones. We're taking a shot at a fucking champ. We're taking a shot at fucking Putin. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's fucking go. 1 year, a 1 day fucking hand job that fucking ends with like a ruined orgasm. That's basically what it was. It's kind of like the prostitutes like jacking you real good and then punches you right in the fucking balls just before you ejac.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I gotta make sure that everyone sort of knows what I'm talking about. So I have to paint I'm giving this
awful,
canvas.
grotesque picture.
I have this canvas and I'm working with what I got here, okay? But yeah, that's how it felt like, and I'm so pissed that I didn't get to see it. I was like, fuck yes, man, let's fucking go. Overthrow the fucking bastard, the bastards running fucking Russia. Maybe we can remove one of China's fucking big allies on the fucking corner, right? Because if we can if we can give Russia some fucking freedom and democracy, you know what I mean? Maybe we could actually tell China to fuck off. And, maybe we have a foothold and maybe we can be on the fucking doorstep of North Korea. I'm fine with toppling all those governments in that region, man. They're legitimate threats to the entire world, not to just the United States. But
Could I call this episode Moeverthrow the Government?
Moeverthrow the Government? Moeverthrowing the world, or something to that extent. I like it.
Moeverthrowing the world, you think? Or Moeverthrowing the government?
Oh well, I'll leave it up to you. I'm sure you're going to come up with something good.
Okay, well that's the pitch. Is that a good title?
It sounds good so far. If we can't come up with anything else, I'm totally down for that.
Just keep brainstorming, but that's a solid option. Got it.
Yeah, that's a solid pin.
I also wrote down Moecell earlier when we talked about incels.
Moecell? Oh my god. Is it bad that I kind of don't think that incels are real, but they are kind of real at the same time?
What does that mean?
Well, all right, okay.
They're real.
Being totally honest, okay. Incels were just like a bullshit concept, right? Like I'm thoroughly convinced that it was a gay op by fucking 4chan, probably Pole of all places. I feel that 4chan invented an imaginary bad guy, and they made it because they use all the wackiest, zaniest fucking stereotypes, like gamer, lives with parents, no job, moderates a message board, eats Hot Pockets. I shit you not, every single time that I would watch like a mainstream media interview, interviewing a quote unquote incel, they literally would just check off every single one of those boxes, right? And I'm thinking to myself, there's no fucking way that this is real. And I guess people really bought into the meme, forgot that they were in deep cover ops. This was like, some deep cover gay op shit, right? From fucking 4chan. And I think they forgot. And now incels are kind of real. But it makes me feel that they're not real at the same time. Because, I know where the origins of this pretty much came from. and it makes it just sort of unbelievable. And I just to end this, I think we're all being rused. We're on the ruse cruise, with
Yeah.
the incel stuff. I don't know if I quite buy into it. It's kind of like how you never find a Biden fan outside of the internet. Like you go in real life, you like see "Make America Great Again," MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. I've seen many more shirts for Obama lately, and I've seen nothing supporting freaking Biden.
It's really funny that like even literally like 99% of the people who voted for Joe Biden voted because he was the lesser of two evils.
Even though he
So
was
like
third fucking place in everything.
so not even I was talking about the primary election. The Democratic primaries people voted and it was all a dog and pony show. I'm That's my political crackpot conspiracy theory is I don't think the Democratic primary is even real at
No,
all.
not me neither, man. Me neither. I think the
No, because
RNC and the
I said this
DNC.
on the issue crew, and you said no, they don't actually change votes, but I think they do. I think it's completely fabricated.
Wait, when did I say that? That doesn't sound like anything I would say. That
You're
sounds
on
like
the
a
issue.
Demi thing to
I think you
say.
just. I think Demi said it, and I think you might have agreed with her to cover your own ass or something because you were saying that.
Well, no. Well, oh, no. I kind of remember what specifically. I think the main DNC events, like the with super delegates and stuff. I think that one's fake. I think the other ones are real because it has to be fake because that's the only thing that could explain Biden getting the Democratic nod, and with him being in third or fourth place nearly every single caucus
That's the thing. It's like a fool me
to
once,
the
fool
lead
me
up.
twice situation, right? Because 2016 happened, and it was fucking obvious. It felt obvious that Bernie had it to me.
Yeah, no
Um,
fucking way.
and
They even
and
got caught like muting the fucking crowd and piping in screams like it's an old fucking Goldberg match in WCW after they started taking a nosedive. That's a pro wrestling reference, by the way.
got it. I need to get into pro wrestling, but I haven't yet. Um, fuck. What was I saying?
It
Oh,
felt
save me.
obvious that it felt obvious that Bernie had it.
Yeah. It felt obvious that Bernie had it, and then Hillary won, and it was kind of like I could have kind of fell for it. It was like okay, there was a big campaign because like she's this famous woman in politics, and everybody is there was like the it's her time shit. So I was like maybe that movement pushed her up. Like maybe that win was legitimate. Okay, I can believe that Hillary Clinton won in 2016. Then 2020 happened, and Joe Biden won. And at that point, I was like, no. Okay, something's wrong. Because there's nothing additional behind Joe Biden. No, like, it's her time. He's not a minority. He's not a woman. He's a white male. I truly I think Bernie had it that time too. And I think the fact that Biden won was complete bullshit.
We'll see, Riley. You needn't engage in such conspiracy theories. It's the most like secure and safest election we've ever had in the world, right? I mean, after all, hey, so what if the
I
lights went
believe the
out and
real
if
election was real. I'm just going to be clear. I don't think the real
oh
election was
oh
frauded. I'm
no,
talking about the
I think it
Democratic
was all
primary.
I think it was all real too, and not one fraudulent vote was cast. I mean, sure, when they were counting the votes, they were boarding up the windows and putting like stuff to obfuscate all like visual confirmations of the people, counting the votes, and sure, there was some spots in the country where the lights gone off and Trump was ahead. A few hours later, the lights come on, and then Biden's ahead. No need to actually look into all of this. It's all safe and secure. Democracy, yay. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't I'm not informed enough to have an opinion, I guess. It just
No,
feels weird to me that there's two sides that are so passionate cuz I can't really figure it out cuz like all the people who have pitched to me that it's fraud, they give me all this information and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like fraud to me. But then the people who discredit it, I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like I don't know who to believe.
well, because like a lot of people are just basically this is fuck your side. I want to open up concentration camps and kill all of you. That's basically what both sides are saying to each other constantly.
This episode is gonna get taken down.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. Speaking of taken down, and go ahead and put a pin on this real quick. I had a fucking stream from like 2 years ago. I got a hate speech strike.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
I don't even know. Like, I didn't do anything. Like, I'm always really good.
They're getting real with those hate speech strikes. I got one on my main channel and one on the issue crew.
Like, I don't even fucking know what the fuck I did. Like, I can't view the video and figure out, well, where the hell is this hate speech strike? Like, dude,
it lets me view it, I think.
Well, I could probably do it, but if I were to venture a guess, probably some fucking kid saying the N-word on on team chat or something. And I think that's fucked up that YouTube would give you a strike for that, man. It was like, dude, no, that's not fucking fair. Unless I say the N-word or actively promote you saying like a hateful word or something like that, I think then I should get the strike. But if I fucking didn't do anything and it's a bunch of assholes and it says our team reviewed this, like, bullshit. One of your fucking bots got a hold of it.
Is this team in the room with us right now?
Dude, is the team in the room with us right now? I'm thoroughly convinced that only like 4 or 5 people run all of YouTube.
Oh shit! I was hoping we would hit an hour and I could like end this quickly before this happened, but I ordered a pizza and it came early. I'll be back in a second. All right.
Chicka wah wah.
Bow, chicka bow, bow.
What kind of pizza did you get?
Little Caesars pretzel crust pizza.
Pretzel crust? God, that sounds so salty.
It's very salty.
What's your toppings?
I just
Pepperoni?
Yep.
Alright, I usually default to sausage, but to each their own. Pepperoni's okay. I guess when I was a kid, I kind of got over it, and I'm just not into it like everyone else is,
Yeah, I get you. I love it though. I'm like a pepperoni maniac. I like other toppings too. I'll get like sausage sometimes and like mushrooms and stuff, but pepperoni's always the timeless classic to me.
Nice. What's your favorite pizza? Type of pizza?
You mean like style, like New York style and shit? Because
I mean, like, I guess like Hawaiian barbecue, the works, supreme stuff like that, cheese, stuff like that.
Well, I guess probably. Am I gonna give my manly answer or my cuck answer? I guess I'll give both. These are kind of tied. A good meat lovers, I think, is always a treat. I'm a big meathead, so I love me a meat lovers. That's the manly answer. Just a big fistful of meat on my pizza. I love it. My cuck answer is like white pizza with like feta cheese and spinach. I fucking love that shit.
Dude, that's fucking bomb. Like, I like chicken, feta, and spinach, like, a lot. I like
chicken is a good idea. That's a good meat to throw on there. Yeah,
I like my protein if I'm not going to eat because like I can eat a veggie pizza for days, no problem, as long as there's not those weird gross onions on there. Like, I don't like onions on pizza. I just don't think that has a place. They're like the red or purple or white onions, or like the little like sliver onions, like, because the crunch doesn't, like, I don't think my pizza should crunch.
You don't like the purple onions?
Nah, not at all. I don't like the flavor of purple onions at all.
That's crazy. That's like a timeless pizza classic, the purple onion.
Yeah, so people have told me over and over again, but I just don't like the purple. I don't like the purple onion at all.
I get you. Mo, what's your favorite soda? I want to know. The people want to know.
Oh, my favorite fucking soda is Dr. Pepper or / Diet Dr. Pepper.
Good answer. Good man.
Yeah, I might be just a little bit too Texan for everyone because like Dr. Pepper really is the dominant soda around here.
So my favorites predominantly for my whole life, like I've always, when asked my favorite soda for most of my life, my answer is it's a tie between Dr. Pepper and root beer. Those are the two.
Ooh, what kind of root beer?
I'm really not picky. I'll drink any root beer you give me, from fucking from mug down to like generic great value brand, but like I guess my preference is probably like mug, I would say. Or A&W probably actually.
A&W is my favorite root beer, and just because this, right? So my mom, when I was just born, when I was like an infant, she was on like one of those seaplanes, and she landed over there, and there was there was an A&W root beer factory, and she took a tour of it when I was like, still just a baby, and she got like a little baby A&W mug, and she still has it to this day.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
I think that's why I like A&W so much. Now Mug's really good. Barks root beer I think is pretty good. It has the best design. I love the Barks root beer can design. I think that looks like the coolest. But I think A&W, I think it's from like the best to like pretty damn good is A&W, Bargs, and Mug. Because Mug is just a little bit too creamy sometimes, and you know how you like that little bite that you get from like an A&W or a Barks root beer. Well, that's what I like. That's what I consider a good root beer. Even though Mug is pretty good, and I wouldn't uh turn it down if you gave it to me.
Yeah, I think I love all varieties of root beer. I'm like a wine connoisseur, except I'm a root beer connoisseur. I like me a creamy root beer. I like me a stingy root beer. You know, I like all down the palette of root beer. I will say though, a favorite of mine, because I am a fat fuck. I am not diagnosed, but it's almost certain that I have diabetes. And I have gotten to the point where now when I eat sugar, it will give me a violent headache for the rest of the
Ooh,
day. So I need to stop doing that. So it's weird because I was already super into diet soda, but then like just like it was like a one time was all it took when one day instead of getting my usual diet coke, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a root beer today. And then from then on, like half the time I bought soda, I'd just say fuck it and buy like a root beer instead of a diet coke.
you know
Um,
what is shockingly good?
what?
Zero sugar A&W.
That's what I was gonna say. I
Yeah.
love zero sugar A&W.
See, I have a sour taste in my mouth with sugar, zero sugar drinks because like all that was around me was I kind of refused to drink Pepsi, so I don't know what zero sugar Pepsi tastes like. But zero sugar Coca-Cola is like I think the second most like prevalent freaking drink, at least down here in South Texas. And so
Yeah.
I had to drink zero sugar Coke, and I think it's fucking disgusting. It was just like,
No,
well, I
I'm
probably
addicted to
should.
like that weird fucking aspartame diet coke taste. So I will
Yeah,
suck down any Coke Zero or Pepsi Zero or Diet Coke you hand me. I'm drinking a Diet Pepsi right now.
yeah, but my mom, I was like, man, I really want something besides fucking water to drink. Because I've been just like slamming water down for days at the time because I just didn't have money to go to the store and go get me some sodas.
Yep.
But yeah, she handed me, was like, well, here, drink this, honey. And she handed me a sugar-free A&W. I was like, this is going to be fucking gross, but okay. And so I slapped it on some ice, and it was so good, I almost drank it all in like one gulp. It was like that fucking good on ice.
Yes, it's
I'm like,
so
dude,
good.
it's good. It's really, really. I might give me some zero A&W the next time because I've only drank two diet soda drinks. That's Diet Coke because I really like Diet Coke, and I really like Diet Dr Pepper because zero sugar. Like everyone can like use some like no sugar substances and stuff in their diet because we're all just too
Diet Dr.
fat.
Pepper is the only diet drink that's not a lie. Because what I mean by this, that was just like a funny way to say it, but what I mean by this is most diet soda does not taste like the regular soda. Like it's not even trying to. It has its own distinct taste. Like
No, not at all.
Diet Coke is its own taste. Like 100% distinct from Coca-Cola.
You know, there was
But
some controversy about over that in the 80s because the thing that had to make them distinct from because like America was like absolutely against diet drinks at this time. but everyone was like, well, like, what's the difference between Coca-Cola and Diet Coke? And they marketed it toward women because the thing of that time was like, hey, women, watch your figures so the men like you and you bag yourself a rich one. That was like literally the mentality. And so they marketed it to the women saying, well, this only has 1 calorie. And like the 80s and 90s women were like, oh my God, 1 calorie soda. Baby, let's go get it. The TV told me to. Like, okay, honey. And that's how Diet Coke really became popular. It was marketing toward women in the 80s and 90s.
Did Diet Coke always have like 1 or 0 calories, or did it used to have like 30? I feel like I
Uh
remember Diet Coke having calories. It doesn't anymore, but I feel like when I was a kid, Diet Coke cans said they had like 30 calories.
well, if I recall correctly, it's always been the one. It's always been the 1 calorie.
Well, it is 0 now. They shaved off that calorie.
Huh. That's kind of funny. They kind of got rid of their marketing ploy. It's like the 1 calorie Coke. Well, I guess we can get rid of the 1 calorie now.
Yeah, it's just Diet Coke. Diet seems to almost universally mean no sugar now, which is like it's always weird when you get that one diet drink that actually has stuff in it, and you're like, this is too good to be true, and you turn it around and it's like, oh yeah, it is like 50 calories and it has like a gram of sugar, and you're like, oh okay, got it. But man, I'm a diet soda like die hard now. Like I always have been. Unfortunately, I also have a love for regular soda, and I need to just stop drinking that, like for real, because now sugar is killing me. The fact that I'm getting violent headaches as a result of eating like one brownie from the fridge means I really need to get my blood sugar down. Probably is what that means. So
Well, there's like a million sugar-free options for everything now. I mean, if there's plant-based options for burgers, there's sugar-free options for brownies.
bro, I love bean burgers.
Ah, disgusting. I never could get into that.
I eat like vegetarian shit sometimes. Like even though I'm a meat eater, like I actually enjoy some of those things. Like I really like bean burgers. I really like a veggie burger every once in a while. Um like I had like vegetarian chicken fingers once, and they were just like not like chicken tendies, but like it was like chicken strips. And they were pretty good. They were like really greasy, but in a way I really enjoyed, probably because I was like really high when I ate them. And, and yeah, sometimes I'll just pop some vegan food.
I haven't convinced myself to really do that. I guess I'm really into the meme of every time there's a disaster, it never fails every time. Like everything will, but the vegan plant-based options will be touched. And like I suppose that's different for like California, New York, and liberal cities, but like literally everywhere else, there's like always like a million fucking pictures. Like, all right, this is COVID. Hey, guess what's not touched? The vegan options beyond not buying for my fridge. And that's always the fucking joke. I always appreciate that.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you think of the idea that vegans think that we're going to be eating nothing but cauliflower pizza and all this stuff? Do you actually believe that our food supply will be like drastically changed in the upcoming years?
I mean, I think yes, unfortunately. Like I think the war against from what I'm seeing, the war against meat is actually kind of making some headway. Like now there's just a lot of like taxes involved that just make meat more expensive and harder to distribute. I feel like the meat industry might actually die at some point. In which case these people might be right. We might just be eating cauliflower pizzas and also probably bugs, as the memes suggest.
I really hope not. Like, I don't mind like going black market for my good groceries. It was
You're
like,
gonna buy
and I
meat
look
out of
forward,
like a dude's van.
dude. I mean, like we've practically been doing that since the '50s anyway. I mean, oh, what was it? The bluebird.
The bluebird what?
Oh, what's it called? Yeah, there's Omaha steak. Schwann's. Swans or Swans home delivery. You ever heard of Swans?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're essentially Yeah, we've been like buying meat from trucks and stuff for like years and years and years. I'm looking forward to the media blitz. Like, did you know that there's meat that's tainted with dun 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 fentanyl or whatever
Jesus
the
fucking
or
Christ.
whatever the niche drug of that time will be? Is like some people are dun 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 dying from tainted meat,
Your
fentanyl
steaks have
meat.
fentanyl in them.
Better eat the bugs. Eat sea bugs.
Eat
Eat
the
sea
bugs.
bugs.
I do wonder, because there are a lot of people that claim that the bugs can be made to taste good.
I don't
I
care. I'm
am
not eating fucking
curious.
bugs. I,
No, I
uh,
wouldn't. I would not want bugs to be the primary food source, but I am like curious. Like I do kind of want to try like some of the like famous bug items. Like I try like a cricket bar. They make like cricket protein bars. I'd give that a shot.
it's disgusting. Like, I think what bothers me is like this. Like you can tell that there's a new like bit of propaganda, because like you'll watch like a TV show or like a movie, like with COVID, like with NCIS. Ever since lockdown really started, there would be like an unnecessary scene, like out of nowhere. It was like, all right, sir, we have the evidence right there. Oh, good. Okay. Did you get your COVID shot and your booster? Yes, I did. All right, put on your mask and go outside. And don't
They
forget to
said this in NCIS. They in the
yes, yes,
fucking
yes, yes, yes.
fictional
There was
NCIS show.
there's a
What the
couple of
fuck?
there's a couple of scenes in NCIS where they mention social distancing, putting on your mask, and getting maybe not your booster. I might just be zazzing that up a little bit,
Can
but
we
you
not make
definitely
COVID canon to fiction? Can we like fiction is supposed to be an escape? Can we just like can we make it illegal? Can we ban referencing COVID-19 in fiction just forever? Like why?
yeah.
Why?
I,
It's the maybe you if you make fiction about it and it's like you're making a statement about like the disease and like the culture around it. But if you're making fucking NCIS, you don't need to write a scene where they talk about social distancing and whether or not they've
yeah,
gotten their booster. We don't need
and
that in our fucking fictional television.
they did it like not a whole lot, but like a little bit. Like every once in a while, did you get your COVID shot or your booster or blah something COVID related? Yes, sir, I did. Blah blah blah. Get on out of here. And here's the other thing. The one other thing: the social distancing during interrogations. They didn't have the rest of the place cordoned off, but like they had a plastic separator between the person interrogating the perp, and so that bothered the shit out of me. It's like, well, all right, so I guess like you can tell that they're not going to get physical. Like no one's going to grab them by the shirt collar. Where are they? Where are the kids? I'll never tell you, copper. Yeah, I guess we're throwing the rough stuff out of the window, because like I enjoy that. I believe I enjoy like my fictional rough police interrogation or my fed police interrogation. Then again, like I kind of hated it when it goes too far. Like I hated it when 24 was a huge thing because it was like, all right, every Arab's a terrorist. I'm going to torture the shit out of them. And Limp Bizkit in the background, shitty shitty mainstream music, which is the shit I still listen to these days. Um, like I don't like that, but I like a little bit of like the Batman, like where are they? Killing is making a choice. And I enjoy the cop the interrogation scenes. I think they're cool. But yeah, so like you can tell that they wrote themselves into like a certain style. Like there's not going to be any action, and like NCIS does have like some really sweet action moments.
Yeah, I never got into like shows like that, really.
Well, my family was super into it, and like it's either sit on my computer and be depressed, or like join them in the living room. I'd leave when they put on fucking uh Big Bang Theory because I fucking hate that show.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Ugh.
I think I just like some of it is cringe, but I think just like the general like comedic vibe, despite some cringe jokes, is still like fine. I think I'm just a fan of Chuck Lorre and his writing style. So like Big Bang Theory is definitely not the Chuck Lorre show I want to watch. Like I'll take Two and a Half Men or even Mom over it any day. But I'll still watch Big Bang Theory and be somewhat satisfied.
Hmm.
Mom is Chuck Lorre, right?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I guess
to
not
be
everybody
honest,
knows about niche TV writers. I'm kind of weird.
yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know that one. That's not one of mine that I
Yeah,
know.
Chuck Lorre is a big TV writer. He's most known for like Two and a Half Men. But he also, well, he's now most known for Big Bang Theory. But he also wrote Two and a Half Men.
I
And
think there's some.
I believe Mom as well.
I think there's some like okay episodes of Two and a Half Men,
I
but like
love Two and a Half
once you
Men, like front to back. Like
like
I
I just
love it.
think I just kind of think that like once you kind of figure it out, quote unquote, um, I just didn't really get into it, and I'm not really into like Two and a Half Men too much. I watched a ton of episodes of it. It's sort of like How I Met Your Mother. I've watched like a few seasons of that, and I'm not into it either.
I remember there was like a year ago I was watching me and Demi Gloom were watching Two and a Half Men together. I don't think we even finished the first season, but like we got close. And it was funny because like she kept saying that like she hated it and that it wasn't funny, but yet she kept asking me to watch it. She wanted to watch it, even though every time she complained how it wasn't funny.
Yeah, I kind of
It
hate.
was like the Squidward, you like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward kind of thing, where it was like she claimed
Yeah,
she didn't like it, but she definitely did.
yeah. There's a real funny tweet I just seen like a little while ago. Like while you were getting your pizza, and someone was tweeted out, What is the greatest threat to mankind in your opinion?" And meme bastard Charles Kahn, mask underscore bastard, the fucking best meme master I think on Twitter. He
I got to
goes,
talk to
"It's
that guy.
oh cool, cool. Yeah, I got to hang out with him a few times. He's
I was
nice."
on him and Florian did a like Photoshop AI stream, and I hopped in the call because Florian's stream call is open. So I got to meet. I didn't even put together who he was until like I think Florian said Meme Charles, and I thought I saw that fucking Ninja Turtle in my head, and I was like, oh my god, it's that guy.
Yeah, that icon's definitely burned into my head. But before I like space out, yeah, so someone tweeted out, "What is the greatest threat to mankind in your opinion?" And he tweets out, "It was the Undertaker for sure." Well, there's a wrestler called Mankind, and he gets thrown off a fucking steel cage into like these tables, like almost like most of a story down from like the top of the cage. It's like one of the most iconic wrestling moments in like wrestling history. So I thought that was funny. For those of you who are in wrestling, that's a funny joke.
Okay. Do you have I need to like I feel like I've asked you this before and you've given me an answer and I just kind of like took a mental note and then forgot the next day. But like where do I start if I want to quote get in to pro wrestling?
Okay, so if it were up to me, uh, God, all right. So, well, I guess let me ask you this: Are you more into the funny sports entertainment where like you want some gags but some action, or are you into like do you want to watch like quote unquote traditional, like old school, like older than me, old school wrestling, or do you want to try and see some stuff with like some modern flair?
I don't know about older than you cuz you're 43 I think. But like I've always heard the golden era of wrestling was like the 90s. Like
Yeah,
that's what I hear about is like
yeah,
90s wrestling.
yeah. Definitely the '90s. And there's like three federations that in the '90s that I definitely recommend that you get into. Like sports entertainment's definitely WWF. Uh, Good wrestling and great freaking angles, and arguably probably the superior product at that time, WCW. And if you want to watch like some good angles, but they're not really that great actors, but their wrestling is fucking god tier and it's hardcore damage and blood and bullshit and barbed wire. Fucking ECW definitely. Which out of the '90s, if I were to rank everything, it'd be WCW, ECW, and WWF.
Okay. The
That's what I'd
WWE
rank it.
sucks, right? That's what people say.
Well, oh, okay. WWE has a problem where it's terrible for long, long stretches of time. And by the time you find out that something badass is happening and everyone's got their eyes on it, you'll notice, oh, wow, all right, let me go ahead and get into it. And then you realize, oh, God, it's only really this one spot that's really, really good and not really the entire fucking program. And so it does kind of get a little aggravating because, like, a lot of modern day wrestling, well, WWE wrestling is, I mean, it's got some really good moments, but it's kind of bad. But right now, the feds that you want to like check out would be Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and
I've heard
I
good
think
things about New Japan.
New Japan is the fucking shit. Can't understand a fucking word they're saying, but the action is just so fucking badass, right? And
Do they produce like subtitled versions of those fights at all?
yeah, I think so. I think so. Just sometimes it's a little hard to find those. So you're like, well, hope you have an understanding of Japanese if you want to watch the interviews and stuff. But the top of the freaking hill right now is AEW because they got all the really like badass new school wrestlers and old school wrestlers. And like two of the old school wrestlers might be retiring this year. Uh We've heard rumors about Chris Jericho maybe retiring, but the one of the biggest icons in all of wrestling history, and this is no bullshit. His name is Sting, and he might be retiring this year. And in WWE, Edge might finally be retiring correctly instead of getting hurt, and so that's good. But yeah, AEW I think is like the best, objectively the best wrestling product out there right now.
Yeah, that's a name I've heard a lot.
Oh, it's a really, really great show, man. It's got everything. It's got some botches though because they have money, but they don't have WWE established since like the, oh God, you know what? That's actually a good idea. Well, something to Google because I know it might even be early in the 19th century.
What?
Uh, no, it's not. Maybe it's the founded 1953. Yeah. So and I think AEW only has like 10, 15 years. Like, let me go ahead and check that out. Like when they were founded. When was AEW made? Okay, maybe it might be right here if I'm looking at this. Unless it was a part of something, but this is saying 2019 for AEW. So God, they're barely around, and people shit on them because like, well, they're not as big as AEW, WWE immediately, so I don't want to give them a shot. Like, dude, you know, like I thought it was like 1900s maybe that they were around because like they have some like old crusty fucking film of like Vince McMahon Sr. basically like having the quote unquote circus come to town. And it was the wrestlers, right? And there was just all sorts of shit. So I thought it was maybe the 30s or the 40s, but it's the 50s. So they've been around for like decades and decades. And you know, AEW, it's going to be like another 15 years since, you know, before they have like a like kind of a dynasty. You know, like a WCW used to be NWA and all that stuff. Like because NWA and all that is just as old as the WWE. Because wrestling in North America, like this includes well, honestly, I think it does include Mexico, America, and Canada because that's where the majority of Western wrestlers come from. You don't really hear too much about South American wrestling, unfortunately. I don't know if they actually have a presence for that, but if you're if you're looking for the wrestling hotspots, all of North America, including Mexico as North America, because I think technically they are North America. Uh, yeah, Mexico, Canada, America, the UK, Australia, and Japan. That's so far where and Russia and some of Europe, but you don't hear much about Europe. You hear more about European wrestlers, but I couldn't tell you any European led feds right now, but I can tell you like most of the ones like AAA wrestling for Mexico. I forgot what the Fed was for Canada, but I think they just use WWE, AEW, and everything else. They have more wrestling schools than they have feds there. Like the Stu Hart School of Wrestling, which is like one of the most notoriously hard wrestling schools to like get into and pass because you have to be exceptionally good. And the people who pass those classes and pass those courses are counted among some of the best wrestlers that ever existed, like in due time. So that's like a real cool legacy. And you have all of the fucking South too. Like when I say South, I don't mean like Alabama, Tennessee, and Texas. I mean like quite literally the American South is predominantly has the predominantly the majority of all the wrestling schools and territories and stuff when territories were really a thing. They're slowly coming back, but it's never going to be as big as it used to be, though.
Yeah, but no, I truly do need to check out some wrestling soon. I've been I just heard so much about. I've mentioned this before, but like my biggest the podcast I've been listening to most this year by a country fucking mile. Even though the Dick Masterson stuff is starting to creep up, that's my current era. But at the beginning of this year, even through the end of the last couple months of last, I've listened to literal weeks worth of this Power Rangers watch along podcast called The Morphin Grid. Because like I've been watching a shit ton of Power Rangers and I just listened to all of their episodes about it after I watched those episodes. And they are really into wrestling. So like I've definitely heard a lot of just like talk about wrestling that like I don't understand, but like it's fascinating to hear them talk about it. That I have that with a lot of things where it's like even if like I don't know about shit, just like hearing people who like it talk about it is like very appealing.
The
Like,
Team 4-star guys are super into wrestling.
oh, are they?
Yeah, like I think Taka, who does a lot of commentary for Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z abridged. He does. He's a huge wrestling fan, and he'll start just talking about some shit. Then all of a sudden, start talking about like, all right, so the angle back in the 2000s in WWE was total fucking bullshit, right? And he'll just like go on this long ass tangent about like this sucked, this sucked, this sucked, and I wish this happened, this happened, this happened, and it's super entertaining.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, it's just like I think there's something to be said about just like hearing people talk about things they enjoy, even if I don't quite understand it. Like I listened to like this whole like I don't think it was 3 hours, but it was a pretty long show. There was an episode of the Procrastinators podcast about Dark Souls 3. Like it was one of the very early episodes. They put it out like when Dark Souls 3 dropped. And even though I know nothing about Dark Souls, just listening to fucking Trixie and Endless Jess and Best Guy Ever, just like absolutely nerd out about like Dark Souls and what makes it this amazing video game was definitely really entertaining.
Oh shit. Yeah. That's yeah, fuck man. I actually if you're ever interested, I'll totally like put together like at least a few matches for you to start with.
Oh yeah, definitely do that for sure.
Sorry, someone was messaging me. I was replying. All right, man. Got anything else you want to talk about?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Are we ready to wrap it up for the evening?
Yeah, but let me go ahead and end it right here because I just now saw this. So you've heard about that big ball, the sphere in Las Vegas that
I have
has the
not heard
eye
about
and
the
all
fear.
that?
No.
Oh God. So okay, there's a big ass fucking tech sphere in Las Vegas. So like basically just projects like really surreal images and shit like that. Like I suggest all y'all look it up, right? So Mudahar, like some ordinary gamers, he's one of my favorite YouTubers right now. And he was talking about, dude, I want to see like the blue screen of death on that fucking thing. Well, it turns to come find out that just happened like apparently last night because the blue screen of death is on that giant fucking sphere, and it's the funniest goddamn thing I've ever fucking seen.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, check it out. I got it right there in the general chat in the Discord here. Yeah, it's the shit fucking crashed on them blue screen of death if you're a Windows 10 and back connoisseur / user. But yeah, that fucking
Oh my
happened.
god.
Yeah, it's the funniest fucking thing ever, man. I love the shit out of it. I also like the sphere too, but you know how much it cost to make it? $2.3 billion.
Holy fucking shit.
Yep,
Fuck you.
2.3 billion to make that. I mean, I love it. I like the idea that
No. Fuck the fucking stupid technosphere $2.3 billion. Why don't you feed some people
Vegas.
with that?
Well, it's also Vegas's money, and they're like the gambling center of the world, or at least of the United States. So it's not like they wouldn't have 2.3 billion just lying around anyway. But yeah, you are right. Like those billions of dollars could have went to like feeding poor people or propping up like homeless shelters and stuff, like where there's enough to actually house the homeless. But it didn't. So we get what we have. But anyway, Riely, where can they find you?
Oh boy, you can find me.
Seething with anger?
Well, yes, of course. But also, in the description or on Twitter at Riely Tweets, on the pinned tweet, you can find a link tree, linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. It's got all my podcasts and all my YouTubes and socials and all sorts of fun business that you can click on and get content from yours truly. I make way too much of it. I produce so much content. I produce ungodly amounts of content. This past Saturday, I recorded 4 podcasts and an hour-long YouTube video. So that's what I'm doing for you, the people, the masses. I'm giving you so much content to consume, and you can find that all at linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. Go. Do it.
Hell yeah. You can find me at twitter.com/MSG officialyt. And you can find all my stuff on there as well. You can go to kick.com/MoesideGaming, at MoesideGaming on YouTube, and on Threads, and on Instagram, and on TikTok, and on I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, you can just basically it's almost Moeside Gaming everywhere you can find me.
There you go.
But yeah, I guess that will do it. And thanks for coming out. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye.